Oh, wow, funny seeing you guys here. Now I want to tell you a little bit about all of this. So this is in my boat barn. This is gonna be my rod room. I was gonna make it my tackle room, but I just have too much tackle and it gets too busy. So I decided I'm gonna put artwork in here and I'm gonna put my rods in here. Having your equipment organized, having it clean, having it ready, you're gonna look at every single reel that's in here and every one of them is spooled perfectly. There's not one of them that has not enough line on it or too much line on it. Everything is done very particularly and for a reason. This rack right here is for jigging rods. It's my speed jig and my slow pitch rods. Here's some extra assorted rods that I've just got room for there. This is all my light tackle rods, my inshore species for like redfish, trout, snook, sheep's head, you know, the smaller game fish. This is my light tackle offshore, or my heavier tackle inshore stuff. Some conventionals back here, some spinning rods up here, and then this is primarily all my offshore big game conventional rods, my kite rods and different things like that. A metered line like this right here, if I'm fishing for depth, you know, I've got a metered line on here so I can count if I'm marking fish on a recorder and I know that it's at, you know, 150, it's 300 feet deep, but the fish are suspended over the top of a pinnacle at 150 feet. I know by counting my colors how far down I am, and I can stop at 150 feet. You know, so that kind of stuff is really important to me. You're gonna notice everything in here is Shimano. There are a lot of different rod and reel companies out there, but there is none other like Shimano. And that's the truth, I use it all. And I'm fortunate enough that I get to use and fish with the best, whether it's the Talicas or the Stellas, well, and the Oshia jigging reels. You know, this is what helps make me successful on a day on the water, is the gear that I'm using. And, you know, for 30 plus years, it's been Shimano. The other thing I'm gonna hang in here is some of my artwork, the stuff that means a lot to me. You know, right now I have specific pieces that they haven't all gotten hung yet, but that doesn't mean they're not important to me. This one right here is a scene of Permit by Stanley Meltzoff. You know, he came down to Crooked Island and fished and painted with me in Crooked Island, and I actually had, he came and stayed and painted about 6 paintings and left them for me at the lodge. And at that time I was just running the lodge, and the lodge owner said they were his, even though he never met him or anything like that. But anyhow, that's another story. But anyhow, so Stanley sent me another one. This right here is a bluefin tuna, and I have quite a few things. These are just prints, but this is from the Azores, and Les Gallagher is the artist. He's also runs a big game boat over there in the Azores. Has a really cool little restaurant bar as well. Really, really interesting guy. Big game fishing, but I have quite a few pieces from him, and they're gonna go in here. This is one of my favorites from a dear, dear friend of mine, Derek Redwine. I bought this at a CCA auction, and I wasn't even at the auction. I just gave them a number to bid on it up to a certain amount, but I love this. I mean, if you look at it, you can kind of see a little bit of a journal written behind it, and you've got the flying fish, Gulf Stream. This is how they kick off the water. You can actually see how he made that on the water like that. It's got the Latin name for them. Not quite sure where flight school comes from, but it obviously has something to do with the flying fish. But it's got all this interesting little stuff that Derek put in here, and a frigate, and then also this incredible representation of a bull dolphin. This is by a friend of mine, Finn Rasco. I went to high school with Finn. Some of y'all may have seen the episodes. I've done a couple episodes with Finn now. He is an incredible artist. I really love what he's doing. This is a shot from the Outer Banks. He actually did this from a scene of a long time ago. You can kind of see the period of how these guys are wearing their, ties and bow ties. But these are all red drum caught surf fishing. And I just think I've got 3 or 4 different paintings by Finn, but I really love this one. So this is what's going in my rod room. All my rods and that special art that means a lot to me. Now in my tackle room, I've got other stuff that's not near as organized, but it's actually a lot more fun than this.